Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another crypto video. 1 billion XRP has been unlocked again, and many people are wondering what's going on, especially during this time that the SEC is investigating Ripple. It's definitely a crazy time, and I'm gonna talk you guys through this. Of course, I also have some other crypto news to talk about here. But before we get into any of that, make sure you press the like button, subscribe, and comment something down below, because the first time a video hits 1,500 likes within 24 hours, we're giving away 250 XRP. Alright. So, Ripple unlocks almost 1 billion XRP, and for those of you that do not know, they do this every single month. Basically, 1 billion of the XRP out of the 55 or so billion, it's right now I think like 49 or so left, that Ripple has in escrow is being pushed out, so Ripple can either decide to spend that on XRP ecosystem or put it back into escrow. They've now, however, sent 477 million to Jed McCaleb. Ripple Digacorn has released almost 1 billion XRP from escrow and sent another mammoth XRP stash to its co-founder Jed McCaleb, who has rights to about 8 or so billion XRP, of which he's already sold quite a lot. He was a co-founder of Ripple and a co-founder of the XRP ledger, and thus he has rights to quite a lot of its money. However, he did quit to start Stellar XLM, I think you guys all know that, and as of this point he has XRP, but due to a court settlement, it is stashed over at Ripple's holdings, which I sometimes find difficult to understand exactly how they, with taxes and stuff, how they arrange that, because it's his money, but they have it, basically, because they have to control it for him. But does he have to pay tax over his money all the time, or how does that work? I don't really get that completely. However, that is not too relevant. It's because Ripple now, again, got another month, and they have to pay him again, that they've sent this huge amount. However, this money hasn't come from this 1 billion, but they did send 477 million to him. However, it is his own money. It did not come from escrow, but let's read here. On the first day of 2021, Ripple has unlocked yet again its regular XRP lump. This time, however, it is slightly less than usual and constitutes 900 million instead of 1 billion. What's going on there? Well, Will Alert openly reported that it's a little bit less. Normally to do 2 huge 500 million transactions, but apparently now it is only 900 in total. I also don't know exactly what's going on there, but apparently that is it. Despite the issues caused by the SEC's legal suit, the company wiring XRP to its former CTO Jed McCaleb today, Ripple sent him a whopping 477 million XRP, which was not taken from escrow. Thus, a total of 1.3 billion XRP has been released by the company. The data was provided by Will Alert Crypto Tracker. Once more, they've unlocked 900 million. You can see here the official transactions, 500, 100, and 300. And why they didn't get 1 billion out to then just put it back in, I do not know. I literally have no idea what the bigger rules are from that perspective. However, here you can see, today it unlocked $216 million, and normally a lot of this money just goes back into the escrow, and I believe if Ripple were to be smart, they'd put every single dollar of this back into escrow for in case they were doing something wrong, according to the court of law. According to the Ripple website, as of December 13, 2020, the company has distributed 45.42 billion XRP, and I find that a difficult statement, because if you put it like that, it kind of means that the company is the real owner of XRP completely, and they've just distributed it, which definitely does not sound very nice. 48.2 billion XRP is still locked up in escrow, and Ripple themselves hold 6.3. These are two separate things, but this is what they hold. This is just locked up somewhere. Ripple uses the XRP it holds for covering operational expenses, supporting promising projects, both investment and charity, and for selling it to institutional customers. The SEC files a lawsuit against Ripple, though, so I kind of feel as if they wouldn't do something crazy with that. But then I believe that also Jed McCaleb isn't selling any XRP right now because of this lawsuit. At least that is, in my opinion, what is going on. He's just a little bit afraid that if he does so, they might come after him, or they might come after XLM, especially if he's selling now that they have gotten sued. He might be, in not in the best position, so I think he just wants his holdings, which he is entitled to, but he doesn't really want to sell it as of this point. McCaleb's total estimated holdings and net profits in XRP amount to $1.2 billion as per the data shared by Will Alert recently. However, how much he has already sold, you can find it somewhere, but I don't really know. the exact amount, but that might really land him in trouble as well, because I think it would put him in the same position that the other founders, Brad Garling, oh sorry, not founders, but I guess the CEOs, Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson, are in. At least because he was also one of the founders. He left, but he still sold it, and he's still selling it to this day. I guess a couple of days ago, but you get it. Guys, also check out GSX. Now, you must understand, none of these videos are financial advice, and I don't know if any of the projects that we talk about will do good. Again, if you put money in XRP, it can go bad. Understand that. Again, I have that in the back of my head as well, that it could, hypothetically. So does Bitcoin, so does any other coin. However, with GSX, I've been purchasing into it because of the idea that they're the first growth coin, where it's basically that GSX, this coin, is going to be valued by the backing, and the backing is supposedly only going to keep increasing. So from that perspective, the coin's value should also keep increasing, and of course, because of some market demand in that sense. But yeah, right now we got a cool bonus, 24%, which decreases tomorrow, and it keeps going down. I think every single 3 days or so, it just keeps going down with 1%. Every 3 days. It might be a little bit different, but I think it's 1%. It goes down every 3 days that this counter goes on. You also get a 5% bonus for using my link, and if you buy huge quantities, which again, you might have to look for yourself if that is worth your risk. If you have a lot of money, then maybe, but if you have a small amount of money, don't put every single cent into something like this, right? From my perspective, it's just like a different coin, but in this case, you were buying before the coin goes live because you cannot trade it anywhere yet. It's just the risk though, and I personally like it. But again, everybody has their own thing. By the way, if you have any questions about it, join the Discord and come around and ask, and just let's talk about it, because, well, we have all gotten our little suspicions with anything, but as of this point, we just ask them the questions, and everything just sounds very fair. They have rebuttals to everything, or a good argument. So yeah, if you have any questions, just join and ask, because we would like to know if you have any questions as well, all right? Because we're all looking out, and we might decide to get it to put in more or less. I guess less is not really a possibility, but maybe more if we find out something else which can be disproven, or we might, not encourage it anymore, or never talk about it anymore if it's not that good anymore. If you guys can convince me that it's a bad thing, but just let me know. All right, then again, this was the alert. Here we got the article again. Is Ripple's XRP escrow the biggest sin, by CTO David Schwartz? So I actually just saw a cool Twitter post from David Schwartz. I actually wanted to completely take this apart and actually talk about his Twitter post altogether in a different video here, but I think we gotta quickly take it into consideration. It was a kind of retweet, no, how do you call it? A comment to, what is his name now? We'll see it here in a second. BC Backer, who was talking about the XRP law. So he said, in yesterday's video, I considered those issues as real issues in the SEC's accusation, and that is just that, an accusation by the SEC. Ripple can defend and prove it all wrong. There are 400 plus paragraphs, and out of all of them, I just found 3 or 4 that troubled me, 1% of them, which I do agree with, right? As I said before, I do agree with BC Backer's complete stance, where it's like, well, Ripple, in my opinion, is doing a very good job. I do believe in them, and I do believe in David Schwartz's capabilities to understand decentralization and make the project fair. However, if you read all 400 of them, or at least you read the whole freaking paper, you and I can both agree that there are a couple of accusations or allegations that are definitely quite threatening or scary if you look at them. Now, it may be so that Ripple can disprove them, which in my opinion would kind of just put them on the ground again, making them amazing. But if they were to be true eventually, as I said before, I might change my mind about some XRP related things, which is why I'm also saying be careful, because I cannot guarantee you'll make money. I'm taking this risk because I think it's going to be good, but that's also because I've assessed my own risk to reward ratio, and I think it's a good one in this case. But again, I'm not certain. However, David Schwartz replied to that saying, early next week, I'll run what I'd like to say about this specifically by our legal team. But I suspect they'll tell me that I have to wait until we file a formal response. Being muzzled sucks. It's what I hate the most about lawsuits, and that is because he posted a freaking huge thread here just talking about his stance about the fact that he wants to wait everything out, and he's kind of, I guess he doesn't want to kind of hide for his stance about it. David Schwartz, however, this is a very positive response. Why? Well, he's saying he just wants to respond to the whole allegation here, or basically the fear that people are having, but he cannot do that because they're waiting for the legal team to kind of give the green light, but they won't because they're making a paper or a rebuttal, and the SEC could use any of his statements against them right now if they were to post something, which would definitely not be good. Now, is XRP's escrow the biggest sin? According to Ripple CTO David Schwartz, the escrow was the only viable option for the stash of XRP. The option of giveaways had become impossible for Ripple for tax reasons in 2011. So this is mostly about the other thread somewhere in here. Just look for it somewhere. I don't know officially which of these ones it is, but it was that somebody just asked them, why did Ripple do it this way? And Joe Katz also got on Goxstein here, or no, I don't know. Was it Goxstein just now? He got on a couple of things, I believe, actually talking about some things. But let's quickly read through here, and I'll talk more about it. The amount of total XRP in Ripple's escrow account is known to be more than half of its total supply of XRP. All things considered, Schwartz said, Ripple faced the dilemma that giveaways were not possible shortly after launch. What do you think we should have done? As soon as there was a market price, giveaways stopped working. Because at first we were giving it away, everyone who wanted it was using it, but once it had a market price, giveaways were just gamed by people who immediately sold, and they caused huge collateral damage. And Ripple did a good job, but not a perfect one. Moreover, Schwartz noticed that Ripple's approach to distributing XRP and locking it into escrow was ethically the best option. Honestly, Ripple's approach to distribution and easing the anxiety of XRP adopters by locking Ripple's chunk in escrow is what told me the company is ethically responsible with the influence your collective holding represents within the total market share. It is funny that something that seemed so easy in 2011 turned out to be nearly impossible task. The failure of giveaways, the tax complications, and the lack of good options caught me, at least completely by surprise. When asked if Ripple should have put its XRP into a development of XRP Ledger, Schwartz said the risk of that move were impossible to assess at the time. The company had no idea in 2011 what it should have used the huge amount of XRP for. You're imagining we somehow commit to unchangeable rules very early, taking the risk we guessed wrong, Schwartz stated. As for whether Ripple could have come up with a better solution and whether he felt good about the decision to go with the current escrow solution, Schwartz said he thinks Ripple did a good but not perfect job. Quote, I think we faced some unprecedented challenges and did a good job overall. Not perfect. I don't think making big, irrevocable commitments earlier would have helped, and it definitely didn't seem prudent at the time. The biggest problem was that we didn't want to hold XRP forever, but giving it away became impossible. It was a bizarre challenge. Lockups don't work too well either. Responding to an XRP enthusiast who stated that Ripple can defend all the SEC's accusations and prove them wrong, Schwartz concluded, early next week I'll run what I'd like to say about this specifically by our legal team, but I suspect they'll tell me that I have to wait until the formal response is being filed. Being muzzled sucks. It's what I hate the most about lawsuits. So from this perspective, I do think they can actually get quite a nice rebuttal going, and they can really prove us wrong on a lot of these claims, or at least prove the SEC wrong. But also the fact that he, and David Schwartz is really my guideline, all right? If he says something, I really believe it because I think he's one of the best minds in blockchain tech. However, he does work for Ripple. He does have a benefit in it. He does have a huge amount of XRP, between 1 and 10 million to be exact, which is still kind of vague, but all right, there we go. And kind of reading into this, looking into this, I think he has a good point. And I think the basic thing it comes down to is if they did not want to get rid of the 100 billion, or I guess I should say 99.9 billion XRP in total, this was the kind of best solution that they could go for. You might be able to say, well, they should have just burned it, but then you would actually get half the supply, and they wanted a huge supply or a higher supply because of the purpose of having a higher one with a lower token price, right, basically. And more like a real currency, basically, by having a huger amount of tokens. If they were to half that, of course, the price would go up, theoretically speaking, double, and they would not have a lot less in escrow, basically. But it would also really change the purpose of the coin, since it would have half the amount of coins out there. Also, again, they'd have to consider exactly what type of lockup they would go for and who exactly was going to be in control over it, who exactly would arrange what, and what exactly would happen to the money. If they, for example, were to choose to give it away, like he said, it would only get dumped. People would make instant money back then, and literally would have been the worst thing they could have done for the ecosystem. They should have either done it at the start by giving it all away, but they said, which I don't firmly believe, but they said that they weren't good candidates at the time, at the start, to really give it away and get an ecosystem going. However, to a certain degree, I also feel as if they, at the start, could have committed to when the code maybe wasn't completely... what I want to say is not really correct. Because some authors have said, well, just dump it and then make a new mining system. I saw somebody say that somewhere where you're like, just get the validate. I don't know what exactly I saw. I saw somebody say, like, just make the validators earn more XRP and let it, accumulate as time goes on to a new maximum. However, in the XRP specific code, it is impossible to get new XRP, to make a new XRP, because of a couple of lines. I don't know how many exactly, but Schwartz explained in one of the interviews, which I linked on Twitter a little bit earlier, that they do not have any specific I guess code that just won't allow XRP to be created, in the sense that, it would disallow this, disallow that, disallow that, yeah, because he said that would be very bug heavy. So I don't know how to explain it in the best way. They just have one line, for example, that says, does this action create new XRP? If so, decline it. And that's basically what they've done. So they've not just ruled out every single possibility and just kind of declined that and just going forward in that way, but they just made it so that if the action of making XRP were to pull through, they would just decline it and show the bug, or for example, just show the fact that they were trying to do it and then try to fix that, of course. But it basically would not allow it, which is the perfect thing you'd want, as allowing more XRP to be created in some way, shape, or form would definitely not be that good for people's reliability. But that sparks up the question, what should Ripple have done differently? And I want to know from you guys what you think. What could Ripple have done to make this better? And also, once more, Happy New Year. January 1st, 2021. It's going to be a crazy year, I feel. I feel it's going to be really, really amazing. And also, sometimes I think about the amount of money that Satoshi Nakamoto, for example, has, and how a huge amount of money from the start, even for XRP, even for Bitcoin, even for Ethereum, has never been touched again. And I really feel as if, what if these guys were distributing it at the start in a way different way? Would it have been better in the end? Would it have been a better ecosystem? Would it have less issues? I really do not know. And I do think about that from time to time. Would it have been better? Would I have been happier then in that way? Yeah, I do not know. I don't have an official answer, but I do think about it sometimes. So let me know in the comments down below what you think. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you press the like button and subscribe. And I will definitely see you guys again in another crypto video. Take care, everybody.